Hello, my name is Dr. Ruth Newstifter, or Dr. Ruthie if you like. I'm a professional sexuality educator and I blog over at exploringintimacy.com. But I am here today answering your questions about sex and relationships thanks to the fantastic people at funwares.com who sponsor this video. If you want to send me your questions, and I might put them on YouTube in a video like this, you can send them to AskDrRuthie at funwares.com. AskDrRuthie at funwares.com. Here is a question that came in through YouTube, and thank you so much for sending it. There's no name, so we'll just make it Anon. Anon asks, I have a question for you. Very good. I have an answer for you. How do I better stimulate my prostate when I'm doing this by myself? I have toys, but it's just not the same as being with another person who is doing it to me. It's also quite hard for me to get it in there and hit the spot the same way as if someone else was doing it. I cannot find any toys out there that mimic the come hither motion. This is a fantastic question, Anon, and I'm sure many folks with prostates have this question as well. So first, let me back it up a little bit and tell, oh, no pun intended there with prostate, and tell people what the prostate is and where it's located. If you need more information than I'm about to give you, flip through my other videos on prostates and prostate stimulation. It's a popular question, so I've addressed it a lot, and you'll see lots more detailed information. Also, make sure to look very closely at the videos about lube because that is really important for this topic as well. Your prostate is located in your anus if you were born with male genitalia and anatomy, and if it has not been removed because of a prostate removal surgery, which happens to a goodly number of men as you age. So if those things haven't happened, and you were born with one, then you have a prostate. It's located inside your anus. That's how you find it, and that's how you stimulate it. And it's behind the tissue wall, right? So it's not just like hanging out in your anus, but you reach in and stimulate it that way. And what you do is, let's say that you want to stimulate someone else's prostate, so you can kind of visualize the positioning here. And your partner is laying on their back in front of you, and you're curled up between their legs, and you're ready to show them a good time. And you're going to put on your glove and lots of lube on your fingers and lots of lube on their anus and warm it up really smoothly and let the anus tell you what it wants. If it's really squeezing tight, now's not the time to push in. If a little bit of pressure and it just kind of opens and moves forward, then that's a really good sign. So good communication with your partner, all the other things I've talked about in prostate videos. And so you get a finger or perhaps two inside the anus. So the partner is laying on their back, and if you make a come hither motion towards the belly button wall, so upwards if they're on the back, if they're laying on their belly, whoop, you want to point towards the belly button, so then that would be downward. And this come hither motion puts a pressure and just a little bit of friction against the prostate area. The prostate isn't very far inside. It's a little deeper for some guys than for others. You know, if you have shorter fingers, you're female, or you just have smaller hands, then you know you might have to reach really far with your longest finger to find it, or you might find it's within easy reach depending on the guy. Some prostates are up farther and a longer fingers or a toy are necessary, but it's never like way up in there. It's a firm about the size of a walnut sort of area, or maybe even a small lemon. And if he's really turned on, you'll be able to feel it in that firmness, and he'll definitely be able to feel it, and he'll let you know. Prostate stimulation is extremely stimulating, and it does not matter what gender or sex that you are attracted to. Your prostate has happy nerves all around it that don't care about your sexual orientation. So anyone with a prostate can enjoy prostate stimulation with lots of lube, as long as they give themselves permission to enjoy it. So how do you stimulate it for yourself? You know, you're absolutely right. That kind of reaching around, trying to get in there, do the come hither motion yourself can be really challenging. There's a couple of tips that can make it a little easier. The first is, if you're going to lay on your back, try propping up your hips with some pillows or cushions. That can make it easier to reach that area and get a good angle with your hand. Also try different fingers. It can be easier with the middle two fingers than with the first two fingers if you have wrist circulation problems, like you sit and type at your computer too much. You know, also, if you want to try using a toy, those raised hips can help. Or the other situation that you might want to explore is getting one of those prostate toys that's made for you to sit on it and rock yourself back and forth instead of manipulating the toy with your hand. That can allow you to kind of bounce and rock and more easily touch yourself and masturbate while you're stimulating your prostate with a toy. It will never be the same as another person making that come hither motion inside your anus for you, but it can be really exciting, and you may find it easier to rock and grind your hips as you're getting closer to orgasm than you do continuing to move your fingers against all that pressure and tightness in your body. So those would be my suggestions for you. And I would also encourage you, if you have close friends of that type or lovers, to broach the topic with them. Go ahead and show them some videos and, from my series or, whatever else might work for them. And just experiment a little bit. Get out the gloves, get out the good lube, and you never know. Even if they're unsure about it in the beginning but willing to give it a try, your excitement and pleasure for it can make it something powerfully erotic to them, even if it wasn't necessarily a turn on when they first considered it themselves. I hope that these tips and suggestions help a little bit with your own prostate stimulation or with inviting other people to enjoy that with you or exchange that stimulation with other partners, depending on who you're with. I'm Dr. Ruthie, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks.